Good day, this is Mamakon, and in this video I'll be discussing product life cycle costing. Traditionally, costs of unit produced are computed based on the cost of materials, labor, and overhead. The production costs are accumulated based on job order costing and process costing. This model is now considered too short-sighted, not comprehensive, erratic, and does not provide decision makers the overall and accurate picture of the whole product life costing process. Consequently, if the computed cost is not strategic, sales price tends to be unstable in the long run. To address this weakness of the traditional costing systems and to capture the new ways of managing, the life cycle costing was developed. So, product life cycle costing is one of the accounting management technique or tool being used by management in deciding how are we going or how are they going to price their product. Traditionally speaking, when you are asked to compute for the product cost, you simply accumulate all cost of production. You accumulate the manufacturing elements, direct materials, direct labor, and factory overhead. These three are considered to be manufacturing elements. These three are the costs incurred during the production. During the cost accounting course, you are you learn job order costing and process costing. The basic is get the material, get the labor, and get the overhead. However, when we look at things strategically, we are looking at things in the long run. When we are analyzing a specific product, there are activities associated with the product that happens prior and after the production. And so if we want to get the whole picture of the life of the product, the entire life of the product, we have to consider also the activities before and after production. Because in these activities, certain expenditures are being incurred by the organization. Remember when we are discussing the reasons why we need to compute for the product? We have mentioned three important reasons why computing the product cost is important. It is necessary for reporting purposes. It is necessary for controlling purposes. It is necessary in setting up the price. You can set the price too high or too low, but it is better for us to have an idea what are the costs or what is the cost accumulated related to the product so that we can set a selling price. The idea of life cycle costing is that we need to identify the total cost of the product over its life cycle. And when we say life cycle of the product, there are 5 stages. The pre-infancy, the infancy or the startup stage, the growth stage, the expansion and maturity stage, and the decline stage. So if you will look at the product, prior to its production, there are activities that are being done. When it is being introduced in the market, it will reach its growth stage, it will reach its maturity stage, up to the point that it will decline. So this is the illustration of the different stages in the life cycle. Now, strategically speaking, we keep on saying that An enterprise should have a competitive advantage over the others. In order to do so, we need to come up with different strategies. Strategizing, even pricing the product, there must be a strategy in pricing the product. Are we going to set it low in the first years, or are we going to set it high in the first years, put a premium to it? But at the end of the day, in order for us to have competitive advantage, we are always ensuring that we increase customer value. One way of increasing the customer value is providing them with quality products, quality services. We also discussed that in providing quality products and services, the level of quality is being determined by the customer themselves. And so, in providing quality products to them, we need to have an effective listening to customers. And listening to them commences from research and development to the design engineering, to the production, marketing, channels of distribution, and customer services. So if we will look at the strategic business cycle considering these activities, it will start with the research and development. You will conduct researches. You'll try to develop the product that your customer wants and wanted and needed. After the research and development, you'll design the product. Not only the product, you'll identify the materials you'll be using. You'll identify the process that you will adopt in order to deliver a quality product and services to them. After setting those things, machines are ready, materials are ready, labors are ready, then you proceed to production. You produce the product. Once the products are produced, we need to convert it into sales. Because inventory will bring nothing to the company unless it is being sold. In order to sell it, you have to market it. Good marketing strategies, advertisements, promotional activities. If you let your customers if you let them be aware of the product that you are offering, you need to distribute it to them. You need to reach your customer, whatever channel of distribution you intend to use. Is it a direct selling? Are you looking for intermediaries? Are you going to consign your product? Will it be open for wholesalers? Channel of distribution. And then once it is being distributed already to the customer, your role in providing quality products and services will not end there. There are after-sales services, warranties, possible repairs, a simple product replacement if necessary, customer service, and the cycle continues. So, considering this new business cycle, costs are being classified into 4 groups. Upward cost pertains to those expenditures related to research and development and design engineering. Production cost, literally, are the cost in manufacturing the product. Downward costs are those related to ensure that the produced product will be converted into sales. It includes marketing and channels of distribution. And lastly, the post-sales services cost, including customer services. Considering these 4 groups of cost, recent studies have shown that 80% of the total business cycle costs are already locked in even before the very first unit of product is produced. Having said it, a large portion of the total cost of the product is on the upward cost, the research and development, and the design engineering. As a matter of fact, during the upward cost, that is a loss-making stage. During the research and development and design engineering, that's a loss-making stage. Why? Because you keep on incurring expenditures, but you do not have sales yet. Simply because there are no products in production. There are no finished goods because you are still on the process of design engineering. You are still on the process of preparation for the production. That's why, because majority of the total cost of the product is on the prior production period, this pushes the issue that product costing should not be confined within the production cost, but also include the cost doing business from research and development up to the customer services. In this approach, strategic costing would be more reliable and accurate, leading to better strategic pricing and operating performance. So in order to get the cost of the product, you need to get the average unit cost over the entire lifespan of a product. So this would give managers an idea on the long-term sales price of a product. Certain decisions like you can come up with a pricing that is equal throughout the product life cycle, or pricing that is higher during the initial years and gradually decreases as the product nears its maturity and decline. Or you can start it initially at a lower price and then gradually increase it as the product approaches growth and expansion. So if you will look at the figure earlier with regard to, I'll, I'll just go back to this figure. In this product life cycle, when you reach growth and expansion, the sales will increase, right? So you can come up with different strategies on how are you going to price your product. Is it in the increasing um, strategy, you're going to increase it as time progresses, or you're going to decrease the product during its maturity and declining stage? So to illustrate and to better understand the life cycle costing, let's have this illustration. Rene Corporation is introducing a new model in one of its product lines. This model is expected to have a 3-year product life and would incur the following costs and production. For the 4 categories of cost: upstream cost 20 million, production cost 40 million, downstream cost 20 million, and after sale service cost 10 million, for a total product cost of 90 million. In the estimated production in terms of units in the different stages from infancy to maturity, we have 1 million, 4 million, 8 million, and 2 million respectively, for a total of 15 million. So for the requirement, determine the strategic sales price over the life of the model. If the unit sales price is set at 200%, or the unit sales price is set at 150, 400, and 120 in the first, second, and third year. So as I have mentioned, one of the reasons why we compute for the product cost is to set the price. So in setting the prices, you need to get the product, the cost of the product. And the product life cycle costing suggests that you need to get the average unit cost of the product over the entire product life. So the life cycle unit cost is 6 pesos. How, how did you get the 6 pesos? The 90 million total. Remember, the 90 million is the total product cost divided by the 15 million estimated unit of production. So with that, the unit sales price is 12 pesos because it's 200% of the product cost. The sales price for the first, second, third year, so we'll just multiply the average unit cost by percentages. 150, 400, 120% for um, first to third year based on the requirement. So we have 9 pesos, 24 pesos, and 7.20. So that is how you use the life cycle costing. Basically, you just need to compute for the cost of the product by considering not only the production cost, not only the materials, the labor and overhead, but the entire cost in the entire life of the product. So that would be all for the concept, and let's have another video for sample problems.